If it's a day called today, we're talking guitars and life. Let's get into it.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of TED Talks Guitars and Life. You were looking at the body of a Leo Jaymz Strat kit guitar, and I need to write something down before I forget it. Yeah, there you go. So, guys, I am assessing the body of the Leo Jaymz kit guitar. This is the third channel collaboration giveaway that I'm doing with RJ's Cave. RJ donated the body. JMK did a little electronics work here. Installed a couple of pickups. I'm going to do the rest of the setup and any other modifications and upgrades to the guitar, and then from my shop it will go to Fretnot, and one of their viewers, hopefully one of you, will win this guitar. So yeah, man, it's quite the fun journey. The Scorpion guitar has been shipped off to Fretnot. I don't know when they'll be giving those away. That was the second guitar that we did with RJ's Cave, BBM, Fretnot, and myself. Although with the Scorpion, all I did really was put an output jack in because BBM had done such a great job. This one, I did talk to RJ and I talked to JMK a little bit as well about the project. JMK can refinish guitars and does a great job doing that, but he said when he saw the condition of this paint job and the color of this guitar, he opted not to refinish it, and that's one of RJ's things. RJ donates the guitars to be given away. He sends them to the channels, and the channels decide what we do to the guitar. Now that's a little bit, gets a little bit weird when you get too many people doing a setup because we all set our guitars up to our own player preferences. There are some industry standards. You don't know what those are. Yes, you're very perceptive. I'm not a professional. Guys, 3 things are true today and every day. Number 1, I'm not a luthier. Number 2, I'm not a professional. Number 3, all this channel has ever been, and I'm saying all it has ever been, and all it will be for that matter, is one man's journey in all things guitars and life. So with this particular guitar, JMK told me, man, I just threw some pickups in there, and he did some shielding with some aluminum foil. I'll show you that in a moment. He said, man, just do the rest of it, Ted. And so, guys, that's what we're going to do. So I figure what I'll do in this video is go over the project overview for the body, get to work on the body. We'll accomplish as much of it as we can. Then I'm going to be going out of town on a couple more trips, and when I get back, we'll finish this up and we'll send it off to Fretnot, okay? So none of this is going to happen overnight for sure. But I'll tell you what, man, why don't you run out to the kitchen, grab yourself your favorite snack, and meet me right back here at the workbench, baby. Go on, get up, get in the kitchen, get your snacks. Come on back, man. We got work to do, Jack. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, so we're back. Let me just tell you what I know for sure that I'm going to do. I do have the guitar hooked up to an amplifier, and I did verify that these pickups, these single coil pickups, all work in the proper configuration. So I'm going to pull my guitar cord out so that we can flip the guitar over and do some other things. So the first thing on the list is I need to clean the guitar really well. The guitar was shipped in the Leo Jaymz box, and to secure the guitar, they had taped it into the box, which of course has left tape residue just all over everything. So some naphtha should clean all of that up. The body does look pretty good, as JMK indicated that it did. However, again, it's got some of that tape residue on it. So I think with some cleanup, the body's going to look just fine. So we don't have any body work to do. The obvious things, if you hang on the channel, what you know is I'm going to put a pure tone output jack in here. Oh, by the way, if it's your first time, welcome, man. Come on back anytime and hang out some more at TED Talks Guitars and Life. My friend, we have a live stream every Tuesday night. at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We hang out with lots of cool folks on the channel. And yeah, man, and when I say cool folks, I never mean me, Jack. I mean the good folks who hang out with me on the regular. So we will be putting in a pure tone output jack. Jack. Hey, speaking of jacks, man, special shout out to the jacks, our channel members, for all their love, support, and encouragement along the way. Really do appreciate you guys, and thank all of you for spending just a few moments of your day to day with me talking about guitars and life. So we're going to clean everything up. We're going to install a pure tone output jack. Now this was a Leo Jaymz kit, so it had these easy peasy clip and go kind of situations in there. So I will just clip those on this end and put it on the pure tone output jack, and I will retain this for whoever wins the guitar. You can just unsnap that. Yeah, man, do whatever you want to do to it down the road. All right, so I'm going to be cutting the wires up here. In fact, why don't we go ahead and do that while we're hanging out talking about guitars and life. Man, how's your day going, guys? Man, what do y'all got going on, man? Anybody working on any cool projects? Oh, come on, man. All guitar projects are cool, baby. It don't matter if you're on a workbench or got a guitar in your lap. Any day with a guitar is a good day. So the reason I prefer the pure tone output jack, you can see that this jack has one single point of contact, so that when you put a guitar cord in it, all you've got is that one connection. And sometimes these are very loose or can become loose over usage of time. And sometimes I've had guitars where the cord would just fall out of the guitar periodically, and that is no good. By contrast, I did stock up just a little bit for the projects. Yeah, man. So this is a pure tone output jack. This is what I buy. I buy these in packs of 2. I bought 4 because I've got some projects coming up. So with a pure tone output jack, what you can tell is that it has multiple points of connectivity. So when I put the guitar cord in there, and I've really got to push it in there, I got 2 points of connectivity. Really, I have 3, 2 on the sides and 1 down here. Now, if you never used a pure tone output jack before, one of the things to keep in mind is that when you go to take this guitar cord out, you're going to have to exert a little bit of force. That is because you do not, and that's just awkward because it's not in the body. If it were in the body, I could just pull the cord out. I wouldn't have to use 2 hands and all that. Okay, so we will be installing a pure tone output jack at some point in our future on this guitar. So I'll put that over there in the box of parts. One of the other things about this guitar is that these saddle screws, I don't know if these are where, this is where the, nope. I don't know if this, there's proper grammar, is going to be where those saddles live or not. However, let's take the treble E string here. You see how those are sticking up right now? Now that saddle is clearly jacked up. That is not an appropriate saddle placement. That is probably a little too low, but it causes these set screws, is what I call them, on these saddles to stick up. So if you're going to palm mute or get down here, you know, you could scratch your hand up. So I do have some saddle screws that I have also purchased for other projects. I think I bought a bag of 50 of these. I don't know, maybe they were $7 on the Zon or something like that. So I will be replacing the longer set screws with the shorter saddle screws, and that'll do away with any kind of catching of the hand. Okay, the back of the guitar, the trim cavity, that's a clean cavity, man. You know, the Leo Jaymz kits that I've seen through the shop, the cavities always look pretty clean to me. There's no buffing compound really in there to speak of. There's a little bit of roughness in there, but it's mostly under the paint. You can tell these springs are, you know, they're not the greatest springs in the world, but they're doing the job. I am not going to deck the guitar. I am not going to fix the guitar, what I mean, so that the whammy bar doesn't work. I will include it when I send it to Fret Knot, and I'm not going to deck it or block the trim, because the player who wins this guitar might want to rock and roll that tremolo bar. I don't know. If it were me, I'd block it or deck it. And the way you can deck it is you can just keep screwing these screws in until this claw becomes flush with that guitar body. And that, to me, helps with tuning stability. The other thing that I would do if it were my guitar, but again, it's not, so I'm trying to set it up somewhat generically as I can, is I would actually put pieces of foam inside of those springs and around those springs, so that when I played the guitar, I wouldn't hear any pinging noises from the springs. Guys, even if you're not working the trim, these springs will ping on you. Springs that ping and everything else that sings. We'll do a little Dr. Seuss today. Oh, copyright. And we'll clean all the saddle up and all those things as we go. When this guitar pickguard was bolted to the body, screwed to the body, I do have a little bit of an overhang right here. I will be, hey Brian, I'm going to get my Dremel and handle some business right here on that corner, so that my neck does not hit that pickguard, but that the neck would hit that pocket flushly. And once I get it reseated, I might just be able to move it just a little bit closer to where it's a better fit. JMK just put the pickguard back on because he swapped out the pickups. He knew I'd be taking it all apart, so probably wasn't too worried about the exact alignment of things. So perhaps what I should say is I may be needing to Dremel the pickguard right here. A point of controversy on the channel is whether or not to bore out the neck screws. Guys, if it were my guitar, I would excuse my reach. Guys, if this were my guitar, I would absolutely bore those holes out just a skosh, so that this screw goes right through the body of the guitar, and the only thing that this screw connects to on the other end is a guitar neck. I think that's useful for a couple of different reasons. One is if you need to move the neck, you've got a little bit of wiggle room to do that. I just don't like to thread the body of the guitar with a screw. That's just me. But guess what? You do you, Jack, however it is you want to roll. As for me, I need to make a determination as to whether or not I'll be boring those out. Now, when I spoke to JMK today, he did say that he didn't have copper tape, so he shielded with aluminum foil. And he said that it occurred to him that he did not ground this. So I'm going to be assessing the shielding of the guitar. I do have some copper shielding tape, and I do think that we probably need to make sure that this is good connectivity and doing its job. Shielding is not just cosmetic, it does serve a purpose. So we can get the meter out, and we'll be testing that to see. It's not that I don't trust JMK, but it's coming through my shop, guys. So I've got to make sure when it leaves the shop, it is set up and it's ready to rock and roll, and everything is all copacetic like. The other thing that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to just touch up some of the soldering back here. There's a couple of soldering joints, these grounds right here. You can see that I can take this with my finger and move this around. I could probably just snap it off if I wanted to, like that. So yeah, that may just be extra solder, but I personally don't like to have exposed bare wires like that. So what I'll be doing is I'll be clipping those wires, and I'll be soldering them a little bit more closely than they are right now, just because I think that that could potentially reduce on any sound. Interestingly enough, this guitar has a plastic box switch. It feels pretty tight. It's not a loosey-goosey switch at all, but maybe that's a Leo Jaymz. I don't know if that's stock or not. and you've got your dime size pots. You've got your 2 green chiclets on the tone pots right there. So I think other than that, if these pickups work and play, I'm going to call it a day on that deal. And I wasn't asked to put new pickups in it or upgrade it or anything like that. But I do want to see if I can't, you know, make this a little bit more normative. I really don't. I'd like the pickups not to fluctuate, have this much flux in it for sure. But again, that's just something I'm going to be assessing as we go. So my friends, we are going to for sure clean this guitar up. We are for sure going to put an output jack in. We will for sure replace these saddle screws with shorter set screws. I may have to Dremel the pick guard. I may have to touch up the shielding work if it's needed. I'm saying may. And I do want to just check the soldering, and I may do just some extra soldering on some of the joints that I see. And then again, as I said, I may or I may not bore out these neck plate screws. Well, my friends, I guess there's nothing to it but to roll up the sleeves and get to work, Jack. All right, guys, let me grab some other implements of destruction, and I'll meet you right back here, man. And we'll just tackle this bad boy quick, fast, and in a hurry. Like, now we're not going to work in a hurry, you understand? Well, I'll just be back soon is what I'm trying to say. How did this guy get a YouTube? I don't know, man. It's not that hard. I keep telling you. Dang critics. Well, welcome back, my friends. So, we have kind of sort of successfully, I believe, cleaned that guitar body and that pick guard. Oh my goodness, guys. If I could offer just a public service announcement about tape and guitar bodies and tape and pick guards, guys, do yourselves a favor. Please do not put tape on guitar bodies or pick guards. I don't know if you saw, it came off the body actually fairly well. Getting that tape off this pick guard, guys, it was a fast forward for you. It was 20 minutes of my life. It was worse than getting those stickers off that old Squire. If anybody remembers my nephew's Squire that was all stickered up. And I did get my coffee, thank you very much. And I got some got public on the mind. Got me some pumpkin spice Milano cookies. Let's take a break for a cookie. Now that is a good cookie. So one of the things that I do have on hand that is also on the list is the saddle screws. So you may have noticed that the saddle screws are pretty much sticking up. Can you see how that's sticking up right there? Well, this one's kind of janky. So if you lower those saddle screws very much at all, get it straight. If you lowered the saddles, those screws are going to stick up. So I do have some short set screws. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replace these. So these are, I believe, KAISH Music. Where's my tools? Guys, come on, man. I know I've been in Canada, but dang. Nobody touched your stuff. Well, you don't know if they touched my stuff or not. I was here. Okay, whatever. Critics are everywhere. Alright, guys. Internal, external monologue notwithstanding, I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and swap these out. So I bought these from the Zon. They are KAISH Music. I think KAISH and Dobro are the same people. So yeah, coincidentally, offline, off camera, I did put my meter to the foil, and we do have continuity there, so that's a good thing. So yeah, I was watching T over at Torsten one day, and he had this 1.5 mil screwdriver, and he was putting in some of these set screws, and I thought, man, those look pretty good. Let me just get some of those. Now, some might argue, well, Ted, shouldn't you set that guitar up first to see if you don't need the height of those screws? And I'm thinking, guys, if I need that much height, that string action is going to be crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and err on the side of, I don't know if I'm being a bonehead or not, but I'm going to go ahead and err on the side of that being flush. Horizontal like is what I'm saying. And not have any kind of nibbage on the end here. Matt, how you guys doing, man? What is up? Matt, I so enjoyed the live stream last night. It was so good, man, to get off the plane and get off the road for a little bit and hang out with you guys, talk about guitars and life, man. I really did appreciate it. Hey, speaking of, so I cleaned, by the way, this guitar body. Sorry, I need to be careful about what I'm doing here. I cleaned the body and the pick guard with naphtha. I got a text last night from Keith. Shout out to Keith for the love of guitars. And Keith texted me and he said, hey man, when you throw your rags away, what's your protocol for that? Are rags like combustible and all that? And I told him kind of what I do, and then he had the great idea of contacting Brian. Brian is a retired firefighter. Thanks, Brian, for your service, bro. I said, man, that's a great idea, man. Get with searching for tone. But guys, if you've got rags, whether they're paper towels or rags or whatever, and you're thinking about throwing those away, what's your protocol for that, man? Put it in the comments, guys. So yeah, man, we'll kind of see what y'all say, because I'd be curious to know. I mean, I'm not a chemist. I don't know how dangerous throwing this stuff away is. And so guys, this is probably a good time for me to say that nothing I do is prescriptive, right? So please don't do anything the way I do it and say, well, Ted did it that way. It must be the right way. That is not a good strategy. I'm really trying to be ginger with these because I don't want to not thread them correctly and end up in a bind, if you feel what I'm saying. This one's being a little bit persnickety with me. You know, guys, the other thing, this is just, external processing. The better thing to do would probably be to take these saddles off this thing. In fact, I might take this one off, man. It is really giving me a fit. I'll see if I can get this other one done though. But sometimes I guess it could just be janky, you know. Yeah, so we're going to put these short saddle screws in, and then I'll be back and we'll talk about electronics and some other stuff. I'll catch you on the flip side. Get ready for some fast forward action, Jack. Yeah, man. Fast forward action. Hit it. Okay, guys, I did get the persnickety one to go in the saddle copacetically. And I remembered one day I was watching T, and he was doing this with a guitar. And he had a saddle, and he was having just a heck of a time trying to get the set screw to the saddle for whatever reason. And as I said, man, if you're not careful, you can jack that up where you're misthreading and cause yourself some problems. And he suggested that you could put the hex side up, and you could start at the bottom of the saddle and then stick your tool in and lefty loosey, which will bring it up, right? It's kind of reversed because you're going backwards. I think that's right. If that's not right, righty tighty. One way or the other. I don't know, guys. But yeah, man. So that's what I did, and sure enough, that worked copacetically for me. So we've got all of our short saddles installed, our set screws. So we went from this mammer jammer right here to this little one right here. It's kind of sort of what they look like. Yep. Out with the old, in with the new. Now we're going to have to set the guitar up before I adjust the saddle height. But don't panic, guys. Before this guitar leaves the shop, we will copacetically set it up, my friends. We certainly will. Now I'm going to save these long ones just because you never know when you're going to need some saddle screws. So yeah. And I suppose it's possible. Maybe I should put these in with the guitar on the off chance that the person that gets this guitar doesn't like lower action and they want higher action, and they're going to need those set screws to be a little bit more taller. By the way, getting the tape off the body and the pick guard was one thing. Getting it off these saddles, oh my goodness. Yeah. Anyway, enough about the tape. I think everybody's heard me on the tape. So right now, these springs, it's not super taut. And you guys know if this were my guitar, I'd deck it, right? I would just move this claw up here close to the body. I would just sit that flush, that bridge piece, and I'd be done with it. But again, it's not my guitar. So since it came with a trim, oh my goodness, the trim, I just remembered. The trim has tape on it too. The neck plate has tape on it too. Everything's got tape on it. Look at this. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Anyway, because it's going to come with a trim, it's bridge plate. So because it's going to come with a trim, I'm going to keep it a working trim system. And we'll let the guys over at Fretnot rock and roll that situation and tell us if the trim is worth having or not. I'm just not a trim guy. I don't really do that. So surely, well, this hasn't been intonated, so I'm going to go ahead and just move that back just for my own peace of mind, because I like that to sit a little bit flush. All right, guys, I'm going to make some final determinations about whether or not we're going to go to Lamb Sam or whether or not I'm going to put these electronics that came with it, call it good enough. But again, it's not, look, man, if you saw me going after the body in that pick guard, you've seen the OCD in action, okay? But I at least want to clean this up. I mean, just, yeah. I mean, so, I don't know. Will I clean it up? Will I just go Lamb Sam? I'm thinking maybe I should just clean it up, go stock with it. It's a giveaway guitar, and I'm sure whoever gets this guitar will appreciate it one way or the other. At least we'll get it in copacetic working order. All right, guys. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up the old soldering iron, and then we will get these electronics all wired up where I feel good about them. Or we'll go Lamb Sam. Let me drink some more coffee and think about it. We'll be back. All right, my friends, we have electronics. So, by the way, some of you may wonder, what if I don't have a drill with a sandpaper bit like that to Dremel your pick guards? I put a little 400 on a dowel rod and just did that by hand, and just to prove that it could be done. So the main thing is I just need that pocket to be flush for our neck. So we've got everything going for us right now by way of electronics. I need to clean up the neck plate wherever I put that, and yeah, put on our knobs and whatnot, and we'll be for assembling this guitar, Jack. Yeah, man, that's what we're doing. What you doing, man? Put in the comments what you working on, baby. Yeah, man, I want to hear all about it. Well, all right, my friends, we are good to go with the electronics. So, what did we do in this video? Well, we did copacetically clean the guitar up, and it needed it. Had a lot of tape residue. That's the last thing I'm ever going to say about that tape. on this project. All right, electronics wise, we did copacetically install a pure tone output jack. I did do a shielding check. Everything had continuity and it checked out all right. Yeah, man, soldering check. I did go ahead and do a little bit of soldering work just to clean it up, man. It's just me. It's just my OCD stuff, man. It worked before, it works now. Life is good. We did Dremel that pick guard in the neck pocket so that our neck will fit copacetically in that pocket, my friends. And I did install some shorter saddle screws. So, guys, we're going to have to come back in the next vid, man. I'm aware that this is probably getting fairly long. So, in the next, yeah, that's what I meant to say. In the next video, there you go. There's words I can put together in a sentence, my brothers. We will come back and I will assess whether or not we're going to bore out these neck screws or not, the holes for the neck screws. We will attach this guitar body and guitar neck over yonder together. We'll get to setting this bad boy up. Get it ready to send over to Fret Not Jack. Guys, we're on the downhill slide with the Leo Jaymz Strat. This is the third giveaway guitar on the channel in cooperation and partnership, you understand, with RJ's Fret Not in this particular journey. JMK 2112. Man, I love that 2112 album. Greatest rock album of all time, in my humble opinion. Put in the comments, should you disagree? Oh, but you should never disagree, Jack. That's some great stuff. I did copacetically clean up the trim. I did copacetically clean up the neck plate as well, my friends. Guys, I can't thank y'all enough for hanging out with me today on another crazy journey, my friends. Special shout out to the Jacks, our channel members, for all your love, support, encouragement, and edification per usual. And thanks to all of you who spent any time at all today talking about guitars and life. Yeah, guys, y'all are the best.
Well, as always, wherever you are in your guitar journey, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Hey, rock on with your bad selves, everybody. Catch you down the road.